Hello, I am Barendipitous, and I've remade this video about half a dozen times these past few weeks. I've recorded the whole thing and scrapped it. I've written a 6-page script and just done. Scrapped it. I'm just having a hard time figuring out how to say what I want to say. All right. Let me just begin with this. No, I'm not leaving or retiring or burned out or canceled. At least I don't think I've been canceled. I'm going to continue to make Brawlhalla lore content as well as any content I feel like making whenever I am willing and able. I do have an apology I want to make, but the focus of this video is not that. It's stuff that I have done in the year 2025, even if most of it isn't Brawlhalla related. I've just been sort of like throwing my hands up, figuring out how to say all this. It all comes down to this, okay? This year did not turn out the way I wanted it to, or the way I thought it would in terms of Barendipitous content, or content that I make as Barendipitous. And I also have just been very seriously rethinking the way I approach the Brawlhalla community and Brawlhalla content. So, if that's all you wanted to know, there you go. You can leave. Thanks for coming. There you go. If you are still here, then let me kind of explain sort of my plans for the rest of this video. The script that I wrote, this 6-page script, I'm not going to say everything in it. A lot of it is just kind of, random meandering thoughts. I want to sort of touch on a few main points, and I want to focus on, first of all, what happened to all the projects I said I was going to do back in January, and also, like I said, the focus of this video is what have I been doing in 2025, and why am I making this video in the first place? Let's continue on that point. Well, pretty much all the creative projects I wanted to do at the beginning of this year, the deadline for those, I was hoping to get them done by BCX of this year. And since it's only days away, I mean, even when it was only like a month or like 2 months away, I've been really thinking about like this video and what I want to say. So I want to provide some kind of explanation for that and everything. So I am not entirely sure how many people will care about this, and if you don't care, that's fine. I don't expect a lot of people to like care about me. When I say not care about me, I know, like, obviously, there are people in my life who I'm doing fine. As a person, I'm just fine, whatever. But I also know that since I'm not the most consistent content creator out there, and I don't think I'm in a stage in life where I'm able to be consistent ever. I just make what I can when I can, essentially. So, but yeah, I wanted to kind of put everything in context. My life priorities. I've said this multiple times before, but my life priorities are as follows. My faith, basically, my relationship with God, my family, especially my wife Cobweb, and our respective families. So faith, then family, and then my job and career as a librarian, that comes third to me. And then fourth, my community and local church responsibilities. Right now I've been serving as basically my pastor's secretary, the bishop's secretary in my local congregation, helping to manage his schedule. So I've been doing that. And then fifth, finally, is my hobbies, which includes everything I do as Barendipitous. Hopefully that gives you an idea of like where I'm coming from. Anything that you've seen me do, like pretty much on the internet as Barendipitous, it all comes in priority after everything else that's important in my life. And I feel very like, okay, I'm perfectly fine and like secure. I feel very fortunate in all my other areas. It's just this fifth one, my hobbies, where I've just been a bit, felt a little bit directionless, shall we say. I should also say that I was especially like very, very, very active as Barendipitous. I've had a full-time library job for about 4 years now, and I'm realizing that my current mindset regarding the ways I engage online and attempt to produce big creative projects have been consistent with my mindset set back when I was unemployed or working part-time back in 2018 to 2020. I just can't do that, really, like at this stage of my life. What I was doing from 2018 to 2020 or even into 2021, I finally come to terms with the fact that I just have a lot more things that I would rather be doing, or that I should be doing, that's more important than a lot of these other creative things. So I can't be nearly as ambitious now as I was back then. Also, I have struggled a bit with just engaging with the online community. I think this is especially true on Twitter, the X Twitter, whatever you want to call it. A little bit with Discord, but not nearly as much. I've just always sort of spoken and acted in the hopes that maybe I could make some kind of positive difference, that maybe I could try to highlight the good in the world. I always tried to be my honest, authentic self with no pretense or deceit or guile. Whatever I say online is truly what I would say in person. And I also try to give words of encouragement and support where it seems it might be needed or appreciated. But I have made mistakes, and worse yet, I say things that seem to upset people sometimes. This happens on Twitter more than anywhere else, and it just sucks because it's where most of my online activity was for a long time. A lot of it just doesn't feel worth it to engage in the Brawlhalla community on Twitter much anymore. I feel like when I give my opinions about things that have to do with Brawlhalla, it seems to upset people. Quite honestly, I feel kind of like the way the Defensive sometimes does, the community manager. There was a time when Defensive was asked his opinion about a recent balance patch or something like that, or no, it was like how Lady Vera, the new legend, was balanced, and what he said was something along the lines of, "My opinions on balance tend to upset people, so I'm going to keep it to myself." And I can see definitely why he says that, and that's kind of how I feel as well. I'm always happy to share everything I know about lore. I will continue to be, the lore expert of Brawlhalla in the community at least. But just for a lot of other things, if you haven't noticed, I've been deliberately stepping back a bit more in my in interacting online. The Lore Book Club Discord server, though, still pretty active. I still interact in there, definitely. But when it comes to the sort of the town square that is Brawlhalla Twitter, I've been kind of avoiding it. More than I was in previous years. Now let me talk about fan projects, okay? So again, back at the start of 2025, I had this ambitious goal to create and complete 10 Brawlhalla fan projects before BCX 2025. This include several music projects, poetry, a card game, a tabletop role-playing game, all around Brawlhalla, all these fan projects, and more stuff. And I was hoping to use the Quillborn group that I had helped set up and as a framework to work with creative people in the community to get these things done and to have each project soar beyond their original intentions. But that hasn't really happened, has it? And there have even been other projects I've started or tried to start, like some kind of audiobook for the graphic novel. And I just want to say to everyone I've talked to about creating any project this year, to everyone I've made promises to, I am sorry. I am very sorry that these things just have not panned out. I still hope to complete many of these projects at some point in the future, but that other things in my life or other priorities or other interests have definitely been competing, and I am very sorry about that. I will say I was able to create 2 projects. There is a song about Artemis and a song about Orion. If you look on this YouTube channel on Christmas 2024, December 25th, 2024, there is a video about it is called Mary Washington Did You Know? I worked with Stefanifro and also with the artist Rue to create this wonderful parody video about Mary Washington or Artemis. And then on Valentine's Day of this year, I worked with Stefanifro and Navia to hold on, let me double check here. Was that, I think it was Valentine's Day. It was, me, Stefanifro, and Navia on Valentine's Day made a parody of Sound of Silence, the Disturbed's band cover of it, but it's called Here I'm Called Orion. And those have each gotten hundreds, if not thousands, of views, and I am incredibly proud of those, honestly relatively quick, but still inspiring projects. And I'm very grateful I was able to do that. I'll talk a bit more later about other things that I've been doing over this past year, but Quite frankly, one of the big things besides my life priorities is that I've just had a lot of other interests. I'm the kind of person that doesn't focus on just one thing. I have a lot of like various fixations, and they tend to rotate a lot. I've been spending more and more time in the latter half of this year doing other gaming related stuff, especially with my wife, Cobweb. She supports me in my Brawlhalla stuff, that's sure, and she's also kind and patient enough to be a huge reason why I'm able to complete each battle pass as they come, even the classic reruns. But she's not interested in games that require quick input. I'm the one who plays platforming games or real-time combat games like Silksong. While she watches, she much prefers turn-based strategy games or cozy yet spooky or farming sim kind of games. I'll talk more about that later. Speaking of the two of us and also about BCX, we are going to BCX this year. It's coming up in a few days. Very exciting. Very excited to see everybody. I'm going to make another video very soon, either today or tomorrow. Put another video up to kind of explain what my plans are for BCX. So look forward to that. But yeah, so again, all the things that I have promised or the things I said I would be working on, I'm sorry, they just have not been happening. I have been giving it an honest try, but again, lots of other cool things have been going on as well. So I want to spend the latter half of this video talking about the things I have been doing this year that I think are kind of cool and fun, and they're not really like Brawlhalla related necessarily, but it just kind of shows you that I'm still very much being a librarian gamer. Before I do that though, I do want to kind of give a little conclusion to this sort of explanation / kind of like apology / life update, if you will. And these are things I've said before. And to kind of conclude this part of the video, I want to say, well, first of all, thank you very much for watching, for supporting and everything. I don't really earn any money from any of the content I make as Barendipitous, and that's never been the point. I do all this because I enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching and for listening. I consider myself a support role in the community, right? Lots of people in the community may call themselves a pro player, or like a Scythe player, or a Gauntlets player, or a like Mordex player. Some people say that they're like they're a YouTuber or a streamer or an artist or things like that. I am a lore master, sure, but like, what does that really mean? In team-based video games, I've always preferred the support roles. I play support. My League of Legends mains are Sona, Pyke, and Yuumi. My favorite Marvel Rivals character to play is Rocket Raccoon. In Brawl Stars on my phone, I really like playing Byron and Poco, especially in team games. I've always loved being in a position to amplify other people, to allow them to accomplish even greater things after a little bit of support or a little bit of buffing or a bit of healing. I love doing that both in games and in real life, helping people to go beyond the sum of their own efforts. That's where I see myself in the Brawlhalla community. That's how I've seen myself for years. And now more than ever, I just need to remember that. I don't need to put all this undue pressure on myself to create all these things. I love creating, but I've just been putting so much pressure on myself. So whenever I think I haven't made much of an impact, and I definitely have felt that way a lot, like maybe I just don't matter that much in the community, I'm reminded of this right here. This Dev Appreciation Trophy given to me in 2022. Now, this trophy has been given to lots of other people in the community, but just the fact that I was honored and like by the developers and the fact that they've given me this tangible sign of appreciation for my role in the Brawlhalla community, that means a lot, honestly. At least in some way, it reminds me that at least in some ways, to the right people, I have made a difference. I have been making a difference. I want to continue to be a voice for good and for gratitude, for genuine learning and wonder, a voice for the lore of Brawlhalla and other things that bring me joy. I want to be a developer, not a video game developer, but a developer of people, of communities. I want to continue to help people to be more than they can be by themselves. Maybe I've done a little bit of that in the past 7 years. I don't know, but I'll continue to look for ways to do that in the Brawlhalla community and also especially elsewhere as my interest and time allows. So I really like this quote from a Brawlhalla developer. So on November 7th of this year, the Xbox Wire published a short interview with Zeke Sparks. He's the managing director of Blue Mammoth Games, and some of you may know him as Dinohedron. He's been there. He was the executive producer at Blue Mammoth Games for 10 years ago, and now he's the managing director. When he was asked to talk about Brawlhalla's early days and the early vision for the game, this is what he had to say. He said, "It was exciting because we realized pretty early on that we had something that had legs, but we didn't know how far it could go. So we poured our hearts into it and built really strong ties with the community early on. We knew, especially being free to play, that we had to be taking and listening and adapting, had to be talking and listening and adapting based on what the community was saying. And so we put ourselves out there, and it's been a wild ride seeing how far we can go." And that's basically how I felt from 2018 onwards, especially when I first joined the Brawlhalla community. That's how I felt when I took charge of the Lore Book Club server in Discord and made it public. That's how I felt in 2019 when I got a DM from the Brawlhalla account in Twitter inviting me to be one of the first Brawlhalla partner creators. That's how I feel now, and I will continue to see how far I can go as the lore master of Brawlhalla. I will continue to play support wherever I can. It just so happens that maybe I just need to back up a little bit, to maybe not take as strong a role as I was trying to be the past couple of years, because I just can't. But in any case, I just wanted you to know that, if you care, of course, that I am still learning, I'm still growing, adjusting my approach as a community lore master. Hopefully now you have a better idea of where I'm at and where I'm going, and I really appreciate you listening to me. So that concludes this part of the video. Now I'm going to go over to what I have been up to this year. Let's go into presentation mode, shall we? This is not going to be anything too fancy. I'm just going to talk a bit about various things that Cobweb and I have been doing. So we've been playing playing through a lot of video games this year. I've been trying to get through my backlog of games that I've been wanting to play for years, and these are just some of the games that we played this year. Let me kind of remove my webcam here. We've finished most of these. We've played a lot of these together. We haven't reached the I've beaten the boss I've beaten a big dragon boss once and entered the dungeon, but the rest of these, Cobweb has been playing Cozy Grove. She's also been playing a lot of Graveyard Keeper. We've been playing through all of the Ace Attorney games. A little to the left is a really lovely, cute little organization title. Strange Horticulture was a lot of fun. I love Bug Fables. Anyone who loves Paper Mario, the first 3 Paper Mario games, I think you'll love Bug Fables. Tunic, oh my gosh. Beautiful, beautiful game. Love all the language puzzles and everything, and the booklet. Fantastic. Blueprints, absolute masterpiece. I hope it wins some awards, some game awards. Been really intrigued by Zero Ranger. That's really cool. And also playing through Talos Principle 1 and 2. We completed both of them. Very beautiful games. Definitely. I know that I'm probably missing a few here, but that's a lot of the ones that stick out to me. We've also played, we played through a lot of Hercule Poirot mystery games. I started with this one, Murder on the Orient Express. I had never read it. I did not know what the twist would be at the end. And Cobweb did know, and she wanted me to play through this game to see my reaction for how the story would go, because I didn't know. I had no idea. So we played through that. We played through other Hercule Poirot games. Death in the Nile, this one, which has a 1970s kind of style, is new as of a couple months ago, and we had a lot of fun with that. These 2 games here, Silksong and Pokemon Legends ZA, are the ones we're playing right now. I'm trying to get through Silksong. I'm still in Act 2. I got the 3 parts of the song already. I have not beat Lace 2.0 yet, so I've decided, she kept destroying me, so I've been going around other parts of the world, and I'm now in Bilewater trying to beat that stupid big frog at the end. I feel like I'll finally finish Bilewater at that point, but I just keep hitting these walls. And then Cobweb is still early, I think earlier. I think she just barely reached rank F. Like when you get a huge special promotion from rank V to rank F in Pokemon Legends ZA, that's where she's at. So these are the games that we've been playing throughout this whole year. Honestly, we've just been having a lot of fun with it, watching each other play these games. This is our progress so far with miniature painting. There's still a few more miniatures not shown here that we have painted, but this is most of the stuff that we have painted. stuff from like Malifaux to 3D printed stuff to Warhammer. These blue and like red guys right here, I painted them specifically to look like Magyar with like a ghostly energy kind of like underneath the armor. Really, 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 really cool. Painted some of these to kind of inspired by Legend of Zelda colors. Lots of like Gloomhaven miniatures. These over here, right above me, these are like a bunch of like pink and green like shadow ninjas. That these are ones that Cobweb specifically has painted. She's also painted almost all but 2 of these Gloomhaven miniatures. I've painted the rest of most of the rest of these, but we've been doing a lot of miniature painting and playing a little bit of wargaming as well. Really getting into that this year. Playing with these miniatures, painting them, putting them on display has been a lot of fun. Something we do together, and we listen to, like, have a like maybe Lord of the Rings playing in the background while we're painting and everything after work. Here's some trading card game stuff. So, Cobweb and I have really been getting into Pokemon, the Pokemon TCG, because I used to play that when I was a kid, back when it was brand new. I'm talking base, jungle, fossil, rocket, gym heroes, gym challenge. I still have a lot my cards from when I was a kid, and I'm trying to complete I'm trying to complete each of those sets: base, jungle, fossil, base 2, rocket, gym heroes, and gym challenge. And I'm creating a couple of draft cubes. If you don't know what a draft cube is, basically, so a draft format of a TCG is, you would like open everyone would open a booster pack and then pick a card and then pass the rest of the pack one direction, pick another card, pass it down, and everything. And you do that, and you do that across several different packs until you have a bunch of cards, and then you build a deck out of the card that you drafted. A cube is basically, you don't have to buy booster packs. You just have all these cards that you shuffle and make into like 15 card packs and deal them out and draft them that way. And then people play with them. I've been wanting to make some cubes of vintage Pokemon because those are the cards I grew up with, and I would love to be able to give other people a chance to play with vintage Pokemon. So this red box here has, I'm about 70% of the way through. I'm making 2 cubes in this red box. There will be a total of about 800 cards. I probably have a little more than half of them in there right now. They're all sleeved. I'm also making a rocket cube, a much smaller one, and kind of like making it look like a back alley, kind of like box and everything like that, to play it on like restaurant tables and stuff. We've also been getting some booster packs of some other games that we like. The Cookie Run Kingdom has a TCG, Cookie Run Braveverse, and we opened a couple of cheap. These are relatively cheap as far as booster boxes go, and so and the cards are really pretty. So it's been fun opening those. The next couple of slides, there's going to be some videos playing. I'm going to be showing you my progress so far in some of my card collections. So the next video, So the next video slide, there'll be 3 videos playing. And you can always pause the video at any time. Just know it's just going to be rapid fire, okay? So feel free to pause whenever you want. But these 3 binders are going to show my progress with the vintage sets. So if that... Oh, sorry. Nope, that's the next one. Before that, board game collection, TCG collection. We're serious gamers in our house. There's still a lot of... tabletop role-playing games that I have not played, but definitely played and run a lot of D&D. Pretty much played almost each of these board games at least once in general, and I'm very happy with all of them. So this is basically like my Cobweb and I. Any extra income that we have, we're doing well for ourselves, and we pretty much only spend our extra money after saving and after investing in retirement and things like that. We buy games and we play with games and we grow our card collections and stuff like that. So here's these should be the videos. Here we go. Okay. So yeah, rapid fire, like I said, but the red binder has base, jungle, fossil. I'm pretty sure. The blue binder, I believe it has rocket and gym. Yeah, rocket, gym heroes, and gym challenge. And then the black binder over there has base set 2 and some other things as well, I think. But yeah, you can kind of see where my progress is at with each of these collections. Oh yeah, I'm collecting each of the unknowns, a bunch of promo cards from back in the day, and so on and so forth. So pretty far along in my collecting journey as far as trying to complete each of these sets, each of these vintage sets. Now I'm going to show a couple of other binders that I have that show just some cool Pokemon stuff. Here we go. Just I'm trying to collect all of the Voltorb and Electrode cards out there. Cobweb is trying to collect Misdreavus, Mismagius, and Fluttermane. And I've been collecting a few other things too. You see Pheasantipity, and also you see Trick or Trade cards up there as well. Just kind of like little and energy cards, just kind of like little things. My main focus is finishing the vintage sets, but every once in a while I see little things that catch my interest as well. Also some Topps cards that I had as a kid. Still have those, definitely. So, yeah. Just kind of been getting back into the Pokemon TCG especially. I like trading card games in general. I have some Magic cards, which you'll see, and I definitely played a lot. Actually, I'll talk about other TCGs in a little bit. Other vintage or retro cards that I had as a kid, but aren't really part of any other collection specifically, necessarily. But yeah. So there's that. And then finally, two more binders. These are non-Pokemon things. So you see the one in the far corner is there's a bunch of like Digimon as well, Digimon old and new. My sister and I used to play a Harry Potter trading card game. It's been out of print for decades though. And there's a bunch of other, and some Magic cards in that one. Right above me is Riftbound. Rebecca and I are focusing on two trading card games, Pokemon and Riftbound. Pokemon mainly for collecting and playing a little bit, but Riftbound mainly for playing and collecting a little bit. There are some other big cards of Riftbound that we do have, but are in our decks that we're playing with. But a lot of the, like in the far corner binder, a lot of those cards, especially some of the older Digimon and Harry Potter ones, are from that I had as a kid, right? And then towards the end of that other binder, you'll see the binder that's still going. You will see some Magic cards. I got some D&D themed Magic cards there, like the special ones, and then a bunch of just like random stuff as well as metadev cards as well. The physical like metadev cards. All those codes have been used, by the way. But yeah, that's I think that's about it for the. Yep. Okay. So as you can see, Cobweb and I have been busy with lots of other game-related things. I'm still keeping up with Brawlhalla news. I'm very excited for the Brawlhalla card game. I'm really looking forward to checking that out with the beginning of the Kickstarter and everything. And so that's kind of what I've been up to. And I said that this year did not pan out the way that I thought, and I mean that in terms of like, my plans as Barandipitous. As a person, like personally, like with my work and with my family and everything, I feel very fortunate and blessed to be happy in most of the areas that matter the most to me personally. Most of the stress that comes into my life, I mean, there's some that comes with work, certainly. Some that comes with some of my church responsibilities. But I think most of the stress in my life so far has kind of been involved in hobby and in trying to engage in the Brawlhalla community and making mistakes or fumbling here and there. And yeah, I'm just, I don't know. Just been thinking about all this stuff a lot. So thank you very much for listening. Anytime there's a lore update, I will be there and I will do what I can to report on and analyze it. So also look out for my BCX video coming very soon, either later today or tomorrow, about if you are either coming to BCX, what you can expect from me, if you want to meet me at BCX, or if you're not going to BCX, some things that I'm aware of that has been publicly announced that you can look forward to, and also just my general advice about going to BCX as well. So thank you very much for watching. Truly, really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, all the best.